I'm the real victim here, actually. It was tough for me, too. I highly fucking doubt he's done any therapy or any rehab or anything, because he has decades worth of allegations against him for these type of violent, abusive tendencies, and the allegations are backed by mountains of evidence and continue all the way to present day. So I highly doubt at any point in his life he's ever sought professional help for him being a violent maniac.
Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
It's so weird if he's that remorseful about the situation, why he didn't apologize back in 2016, why he tried to bury it to the best of his ability and deny all of the allegations and try and paint all of his accusers in the worst possible light to make it seem like they were untrustworthy and lying about the whole thing. It's so weird how all of a sudden now that the video is out there and it's irrefutable proof of all of these allegations made against him.
I would destroy Ben on Israel-Palestine. We think the Houthis, Ansar Allah, is doing what Luffy would do. You should tell him that. Yemeni teenager.
He literally talks about being a Houthi on his social media.
Random Yemeni teenager. Why would he? And he lies. Again, this is another thing I don't like. At least own your shit. I've said dumb shit and I regret it. I was like, I should have said this or this wasn't okay, blah, blah, blah. But don't rewrite so hard. Why is spreading misinformation even relevant when Hassan is a self-admitted propagandist? Isn't that the entire point? He's not pretending to give an unbiased perspective. He is pretending to be factually correct.
Hassan Piker is the most prominent left-leaning streamer online. His debate resume includes Asmongold, a 16-year-old Israeli kid, and me, where his only defense for his continually poor reporting is saying it's all out of context.
The reason why I said this, and you do this regularly, okay? When I say something on this stream, okay, oftentimes, especially if it's a developing story.
Like, how do you know I say this stuff?
Especially if it's a developing story. If I misspeak, apparently you can use it in your commentary as though it's like super serious. So anyway.
I didn't name one example that I did that.
I don't know. I don't watch your videos, so.
Yeah, so don't make shit up. He's very critical of other people's debating skills. His grand advice to Destiny when debating Ben Shapiro was to call Ben a fascist.
Oh my God, dude. Dude, this is why you need to be a little bit more educated, okay? He's a fascist. Him bringing up Nazi Germany as a moral regression is an awesome point. What do you say in that situation? You turn around and go, yeah, that's exactly the kind of moral regression you're advocating for in the United States of America when you want to have these like insane regressions on culture.
What?
And on civil society.
The moral regression Ben was advocating for was a two-parent household, just like
Round or fake tats on his neck. I don't know if that's a thing that people do. Aren't they called henna tattoos? Don't some people do that? Like unironically? I don't fucking know. I have no idea. I don't give a fuck. I have colored sweatpants, okay? And merch shirts.
I hate when
and I'm still all your moms.
When streamers say stuff like this, I'm very different. And it's like, bro, you know, you understand the context of it. It doesn't... You understand the context of what I said. You see that it's like clipped out of context, and then you double down on the clipping out of context, and you say, well, even in context is still stupid.
He then pulls up Muda's tweets on Palestine to discredit him and show that he's a bad person.
That's crazy that the fucking fence is holding him. That's crazy. He's sitting hard on that thing, dude. He's like, this genocide stuff is very complex.
But Hassan would hit a boiling point when Ludwig would upload a video disagreeing with him.
There ain't no fucking way MAGA Male made a huge streaming controversy video. There's no fucking way.
Willie sold himself short here, or maybe he'll address it. Ludwig didn't make a video disagreeing with Hassan. That is not true. He just made a video that had nothing to do with Hassan, that had a 3-second quip about Hassan. I think, right? Unless we're referring to a different thing here.
Complex.
But Hassan would hit a boiling point when Ludwig would upload a video disagreeing with him.
There ain't no fucking way MAGA Male made a...
Or wait, or did the rest of the video go into it as well, or maybe, I don't even know if I watched this full video, actually.
Huge streaming controversy video. There's no...
Oh, Ludwig might have covered the whole thing. Oh, never mind. Maybe because it was because Hassan, like, shut it off? I don't remember. Bro, this, unironically, I don't give a fuck about this stuff, but...
way.
Oh, okay. The rest of the video went into it. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, well, good job. This is why Willie Mack is the video essayist, and I'm just a retarded streamer that steals his content, okay?
Like the plague, 8...
Oh, no, wait. Now people are saying it went into the Korean Twitch thing. Oh, well, fuck you guys. Okay, wait. Round up the next batch of people. Who all just said that this went into all that controversy? you. It was the Korea shit, you guys.
Nick Merckx, LGBT controversies, only to turn around and make a MAGA male. What is the thumbnail? Let me see this. Streaming is the hardest job on earth.
He's so mad. So Ludwig shows all the context and he still disagrees, making a lighthearted joke about Hassan. And Hassan feels devastated.
But I wanted to talk.
Am I crazy, or when he says his son, does it almost sound like, because of the way he pronounces things, his son? He's so mad about how his son, can you hear it? Listen.
He's so mad. So Ludwig shows all the context and he still disagrees, making a lighthearted joke about Hassan. And
About his son. A little bit, right?
Hassan feels devastated.
But I wanted to talk about this as a streamer myself for almost 6 years now on how hard it really is. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I would look. I just.
Oh God, it just annoys me because like it's such a fake fucking thing to do.
He got so ass pained over such an innocuous fucking comment. Oh my God.
It's just literally using someone who you're friends with, like being maliciously clipped out of context to be like, I'm actually one of the good content creators. I know how privileged I am. It's like, yeah, I do too.
When Hassan says something is out of context, it's never missing context. It just means they disagree with him.
Yep. Oh, it's almost a little bit like the, it's like this thing, the aesthetic thing. I can't find it. Would this count as like an aesthetic thing? You say like, oh, somebody's missing context, but no, they're not missing context. You just disagree with them. Like, just say that, right? Oh, he just said that with context. No, we have the context. You're the one that strips context out of things. People have the context. They just disagree with you, motherfucker.
Hassan would go full mask off when an audience member pointed this out.
Yeah. It's like no different than what Muda did. He showed the context though. It doesn't matter that he showed the context. It's just a way to just literally farm off the fucking drama.
Well, then don't say it's out of context. Hassan doesn't have any way to really defend himself, so he molds and then just goes back to saying everything's out of context.
I got used like a cum rag for a Rocket Mortgage ad, dude. Come on. But dude, come on, bro. Don't farm me like that. Jesus Christ. That's lame as fuck, actually.
Like, for him to be such a baby bitch over this, when he stood by and basically thumbs up his community going in on Ethan and Hila so fucking hard. So fucking hard. And the funny thing is, if you're looking for like some kind of like political reality, like real world activism, how cool would it have been for Ethan, who has a lot of Israeli background, for Hila, who is in the IDF or whatever, right? Because Ethan actually lived in Israel for 5 years, right? Like that could have been a good moment of like, look, like we disagree, you know, you've got, you know, your Jewish shit, your Israeli shit, your wife and everything, but like we can still like come together on this issue, or we can still like be in alignment on this issue. But Hassan could even manage that.
Like, I thought he was at least gonna, for a good cause at least. Yeah, dude, he's great cause. He threw me to the flames, posted a
Threw me to the flames.
Twitter, a fake tweet.
Did you go over the H3H3 post that has almost 1K upvotes shitting on you? No. That subreddit all thinks I'm a genocidal lunatic though, so. Is it in this subreddit or is it in a different subreddit? Oh, Jesus. Can we please disavow this idiot whenever Destiny is on screen? Even if he dunks on Sneeko or whatever, please. Destiny is an absolutely terrible person. Okay, we'll look at that later.
He said that, you know, we are so privileged actually, which he's right, we are. He just said it was out of context, farmed me regardless, moved on to be like, look how nice I am, and sold a fucking Rocket Mortgage ad in the process.
Hassan would end his stream and his fans would try to pressure Ludwig into taking down the video.
You should call Hassan and apologize. Why is Hassan mad? What did I do?
Oh no. Fucking fan.
What did I do? Because I'm a mogul male?
Did call Hassan, he's crying unironically.
He was crying.
I mean, shit, that's the deal. I'll just fucking pull him out of the thumbnail, and then I feel like it doesn't really... matter much, right? I feel like outside the thumbnail, you can't really make that argument much.
But this wouldn't be enough for him, so Ludwig would take down the video and re-record the whole thing, siding with Hassan the whole time.
People don't really give a shit about the context. People don't really give a shit about the conversation. They just care about getting Twitter likes.
God, he's such a spineless fuck. Oh my God. If my streamer, I don't know, I don't watch streamers, but if I had a streamer and I watched a streamer and I saw him cuck out this fucking hard to the Hasanabi aristocracy or whatever, God, I would be like, bro, no, not my streamer. Ludwig, it was just a joke. It was just a joke, Ludwig. It's okay.
Which is all this really is, which is why people like Keemstar are tweeting out shit like this, just, you know, just for a dunk sesh. Because nobody gives a fucking shit. Nobody gives a rat's ass about the facts or about any people involved. They just care about a little Twitter, like little impression.
And he's got to go like full defense. He's got to run full defense, and don't ever let it be said, okay, that Ludwig deleted this video because of views or whatever. Ludwig claimed after he deleted the first video and re-recorded, he was like, oh, it just wasn't doing great viewership-wise. Bullshit. Bullshit. You could, when he was recording that video, if you actually watch when he does this video as he's speaking into the camera, you can see the way that his like eye twitches a little bit every time Hassan's second knuckle bumps into his prostate. You can actually see it as he's recording the video. For him to pretend that he took this down because it wasn't doing well, and then he just happens to re-upload it in a way that is slobbering on Hassan's knob in the sloppiest, most fucking NC-17 X video Pornhub 4K resolution 60 FPS VR enabled pornographic way possible, fucking hilarious.
They just care about a little Twitter, like little impression.
Ludwig got a single DM that said no balls and then showed a tweet about bringing assassinations back. For some reason.
And to top it all off, just for the reach around finish, and by reach around, I mean Ludwig would have to give himself a reach around because his son seems like the kind of guy who wouldn't even have the goddamn courtesy to give a reach around. He'd make the guy do it himself. He has to throw in a fake accusation that my DGG community is harassing people because of an account, a random account that DM'd him on Twitter after all of this shit had already went up.
A single DM that said no balls and then showed a tweet about bringing assassinations back. For some reason, acting like this was a serious threat.
And this is the one that sent me over the edge. Now, this is a DM from a...
This is the one that sent me... This is the one. This is the one that sent me. This was... When it was... Not this. Not this. Oh, God, no. This was the one where I was like, holy... The battle lines have been drawn. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Not this. Not this.
Guy that's just said no balls because I removed the video. Again, what the fucking plan to re-upload the video? But he messaged me.
Also, you didn't re-upload the video. You re-uploaded a different video.
He says no balls. Now, you know, by itself, you don't think much of it. But then I clicked on his Twitter account and I see that he said this: wish assassinations were a real thing. And this isn't a quote retweet to people in this situation. Not trying to say who, I'm not trying to get demonetized here. But what a fucking crazy thing for Mr. Penis Head to say.
Why is it crazy? His name is Mr. Penis Head. It's got a single like, and Ludwig's virtue signaling about how un-American this guy is.
Can now be a guy who's wishing for assassinations, cause why? The guy you don't like online is millionaire? Said something you don't like? It's the most un-American thing I ever heard in my fucking life. What's more beautiful about being an American than seeing someone you don't fucking like, but they're allowed to say whatever the fuck you don't like?
Curiously, that's not Hassan's position, because when he was questioned about this by Ethan, he said we would put them in re-education camps. But good perspective, Ludwig.
It blows my mind.
Why are we taking Mr. Penis Head's joke tweets so seriously? Hassan's literally tweeted a picture of the same 3D printed gun that was used to assassinate the former Japanese prime minister. And he did this to a United States senator. But Mr. Penis Head way too far. Ludwig's a coward for taking this video down. It's so funny to me that Hassan has this expectation that his friends need to defend him at every turn for every dumb thing he says. Vosh's community makes fun of Hassan for his poor coverage of Ukraine, and Hassan wants it down.
This is not a leftist community at all, for the record. I don't know. I really thought so. I reached out to Vosh earlier today. I was like, listen, dude, I see something going on that I don't like. I'm letting you know it's a fucking never-ending death spiral. It will turn out bad if you just like allow this kind of shit to foster. And he was like, he was literally like, yeah, no, f off. Like, these were legitimate criticisms. I was like, bro, they were literally clipping shit from my Twitter where I was criticizing Russia to make it seem like I was pro-Russia. How is that in any way, shape, or form legitimate criticism?
He's lying again, saying it's out of context when it's not. I have a whole video documenting it. XQC ranks Hassan a little lower on a tier list, and Hassan cries about it.
Like, whenever your chat was like,
This, bro, the tier list drama. Oh my God, who cares? Oh my God, who fucking cares? Remember on the, oh, never mind. Jesus, it's like so, oh my God, bro. How are you so fragile? How are you so fragile? It has to be a background thing, I think, right? Because Hassan's been winning his whole life, born into absurd wealth, good genetics, opportunities to travel the world, job opportunities, like ability to fail college and go back and do it again. Like, so I guess like any bit of adversity for him is like brain breaking, I guess. Like,
calling me out or whatever, when mentioning Moon and NMP LOL, Asmongold, and all these other content.
Destiny, he probably got bullied when he was a fatty in high school. I'm sorry, but I don't believe that. I don't believe he was ever fat in high school. If somebody has a better picture of him than that, like, in the suit on the horse, I don't believe he was ever fat in high school. I think that's some virtue signal bullshit where he's trying to collect some fucking pity points or whatever, some stolen valor. I don't believe he's ever fat. Maybe he was, though. If you got a better video, a better picture of it, maybe. But I've only seen like one picture of him in a suit on a fucking horse. But maybe he was, but...
creators actually, you know, whipping their communities when their chat is going absolutely bananas over random dumb shit and bringing my name up for no fucking reason. And I thought that for the past year, you were just allowing that shit to run rampant in your chat, and I thought that was f***ed up, especially as someone who thought we were friends. I think that's a reasonable expectation for someone who you consider to be a friend.
But when Ethan was begging Hassan to moderate his chat from calling him pro-genocide every 30 seconds, Hassan's like, it's odd.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Oh God, are we about to start? Are we about to start a fucking war? I'm sorry, guys, but if you're like 6'2" or whatever, Hassan is a tall guy. He's definitely chubbing, but I don't think that this is the type of fat that would get you like aggressively bullied. Bullshit. You throw a shirt on this guy, huge fucking dude, nice face, nice face. No, bullshit. No shot is he getting bullied for this with all of his clothes on. I don't believe that. No shot. That's like frat boy fat? Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Yeah, this is like a dad bod. He was obese in high school. Okay, maybe he was. I haven't seen pictures of it, but...
out of my hands. You did it to yourself.
By the way, I'm not even defending the. I'm not even like. I'm just trying to tell you guys how it feels, and I'm fucking shocked that you don't care that people in your chat are saying, "Who the fuck is this child? Cold, arrogant, kind as fuck."
I love you, but there's only so much I can do.
How can you be surprised when your
I can't do anything. There's only so much.
Discord is literally full of.
Ethan, I love you, but there's only so much I can do if you're making that argument. You know that, right? Like, at a certain point, you're an adult, and the words that you're saying are going to be perceived by people in a certain way.
You know, at what point is Hassan responsible for the words that come out of his mouth? Zero self-awareness.
I've gotten numb to the criticism. Like, it's not. As a matter of fact, I seek it out now.
That's bull.
I love his the California Fry voice whenever he's. This is Hassan when he's on a podcast. So, when I'm doing my political commentary, I'm trying to think of the ways that I can educate my audience. This is like the cap heard around the world. Never has there been a bigger cap than this fucking, I paved it on my own. I seek out criticism. My God.
Awareness.
I've gotten numb to the criticism. Like, it's not. As a matter of fact, I seek it out now.
That's bullshit.
No lose. So what you gonna do? If you number one, shove it up your ass and make it number two.
Oh.
Hassan didn't like Destiny's debate with Ben Shapiro. He called Destiny an idiot for not picking apart Ben's points. Hassan's advice that he tries to give Destiny is terrible. He's like, never let Ben explain anything.
The problem is, you shouldn't actually ever ask him, like, how do you enforce that? Because then you're kind of conceding. You're giving him an opportunity to describe his like idiotic worldview, and Ben is a very skilled debater, and he will try to present his handmaiden tale as dystopia in like a relatively positive way.
But that's how good conversations work. One person talks and then the other person responds. If you don't go down their logical thought process, how will you ever understand their argument? It's no wonder all of Hassan's debates.
Why the fuck is Willie Mack, a random fucking commentary YouTube person, explaining this to fucking Hassan, who should understand this better? What the fuck?
don't go down their logical thought process, how will you ever understand their argument? It's no wonder all of Hassan's debates turn into screaming matches. Now, this debate was widely praised for being civil, respectable, and for allowing there to be a deeper conversation than just name-calling. I don't want to show you too much because it's a little dry. It's a politically nuanced conversation.
Hassan is unfortunately the dumbest guy here this time. Please just simply tell me why you think that is the case instead of just saying that and making yourself feel smart. Because that is what dumb guys do.
My guys, that's you. The master masturbator Hassan would get a chance to show off his debate tactics on Piers Morgan, but unfortunately would run into someone as stubborn as himself. Emily is pro-Israeli Hassan. She's loud and overly dramatic, demonizing everyone.
How dare you? How dare you say it's okay to talk about an intifada?
My goal is solutions. Your goal is the continuation of violence.
Yeah, these two were made for each other. I ship them. When going on a show to debate Israel-Palestine, the #1 question you will be asked is, do you think October 7th was justified? And Hassan refuses to answer directly.
It does seem that you're very selective about the violence that you support. That when you support it, it's justified. When other people use things in a violent way that you don't support, it's unjustified. Seems like it's all skewed to what Hassan Piker thinks.
Well, not necessarily just what I think. I think that there are obvious markers, obvious boundaries. I don't think violence against civilians is justified. I have talked about October 7 on this very same show, saying that it was a tragedy. It was atrocities that occurred on October 7 specifically. When you target civilians in any capacity, I think that that is unacceptable. However, this does not mean that violence will not occur in many circumstances. Violence has occurred in every single revolutionary action, many good revolutionary actions.
Piers now asks the obvious question, which is, does Hamas attack count as one of those good revolutionary actions?
Was what Hamas did on October the 7th an example of what you would call a justified revolution?
Like, you're laying out the whole foundation for this next question. How are you not ready for it? Was it bad when that woman stabbed that other lady at the restaurant? Well, you've got to understand that violence is a thing that has been utilized by many different people for many different purposes through all of human history. The United States started with violent action, and Hitler engaged in violence against himself when he killed himself. You know, would we say that that's a bad thing? Is violence always bad? And it's like, okay, well, are you saying that the violence in the restaurant wasn't bad? And it's like, okay, come on. I already pivoted once, Piers.
Of what you would call a justified revolution.
I don't look at every single act of violence. I look at
You've literally
players,
just been reciting a whole load of
systems
them.
of oppression.
Why are you
analyzing it.
Why are you avoiding
Piers.
October the 7th?
You do it too.
No, I don't.
I'm not avoiding it. I've talked about it a million times.
Well, let me ask you one more time.
This is not what we're here to discuss.
Emily, hang on.
This is not what we're here to
Hassan,
discuss.
let me
She
just ask
said
you. Let me
very
just ask you directly
Israel's
one more
not an
time.
Just answer the question. He doesn't, so Piers asks again.
Have you seen the old clip of Hassan saying the Turkish/Ottoman slavery wasn't that bad versus the U.S. because they gave some slaves jobs in politics? LeMayo, just ignoring the whole castration and blood tax thing. Damn, I have not.
Ask you one more time.
Wait. About Hassan doing what he accuses others of. Anything he covers on stream about others is fair game because he's a political commentator covering cultural issues. Anything others cover about him online is bad faith, drama farming. He's an easy target.
Directly one more time.
Just answer the question. He doesn't, so Piers asks again.
Let me ask you one more time. Do you believe what happened on October the 7th was a justified act of revolution? Yes or no?
I do not, and I do think that. Oh wait, hold on. That's let me clarify. Let me clarify something very important here.
How do you not have an answer ready? He talks about how Israel is an apartheid regime, continuing to dodge the question, so Piers continues to ask it.
I just want to bring in our two British panelists here, but just finally, just to clarify, Hassan, I can't quite work out.
He's such a fucking coward. Bro, I'm at like, Jesus, it's actually it's such a pussy bitch fucking move. Oh my God. Oh my God. Who's like a weak socialist or communist for... There should be like a meme, like bro thinks he's like Che Guevara, but he's actually like fucking insert some fucking physically deficient, weak, disgusting fucking... God, fuck, he's such a fucking coward. Why not just own it? Why not just own it? Why not just say it?
Bring in our two British panelists here, but just finally, just to clarify, Hassan, I can't quite work out whether you said you do think October the 7th was an unjustified act of revolution or whether you changed your mind. So can you clarify?
I think that violent means of maintaining an apartheid is
Oh, the buzzword bingo! It's funny how Hassan is a journalist when he has Houthi terrorists on stream, but he's a propagandist whenever there's any suggestion of accountability for his positions.
inevitably going to yield violent retaliation.
Just say yes. If your argument is that these people have been abused and oppressed for so long that this was the only option they had, then fine. That's not an illegal position. He's so worried about optics, he can't even communicate what he thinks.
This is so stupid. Willie's analysis shouldn't be this much better than Hassan's, but Willie's correct. This is the same shit I say. Yeah, like, just like, listen, own the position and say, like, yeah, right? Like, it might not have been justified, but it was provoked, right? And then you can even, why not, like, steal the Finkelstein dipshit talking points? Nobody here can probably counter them. Would you say the Nat Turner slave rebellion was unjustified? Like, just, they killed civilians there. Didn't they? Just say that. Just own that position. And then no one's gonna fucking fight you on that. But, like, the fact that he's so optically obsessed, he can't even, like, logically commit to an actual fucking argument. Holy fuck. Oh, true. When we watched the lady, to the non-Israeli crazy one, the black lady here gives a way better summation of what Hassan is trying to say later on, I think.
I do not, and I do think that oh wait, hold on. That's let me clarify.
I find it funny that when Piers does this to opposing guests, Hassan loves it. He calls it real journalism.
Here is a 5-minute fest where Piers Morgan actually genuinely becomes a journalist for a brief moment. Let's watch.
You literally no idea how many civilians you've been killing.
I can tell you definitively that our aim is to go after Hamas.
You have no idea how many civilians you've killed. If you know exactly how many Hamas terrorists you've killed, you must know how many civilians you've killed.
Piers, with respect, don't put words into my mouth, please. I didn't say exactly 14,000. I said around 14,000. Whereas Hamas will come out with precise numbers that statisticians will look at.
Give me a ballpark number for civilians.
Well, you can use the ballpark as far as the Hamas figures, which I reject as being false.
Well, if they're false, why would you give me those?
I gave you the numbers that I had.
No, you've told me you know how many Hamas terrorists you've killed, but you don't seem to have any idea how many civilians you've killed.
I saw a TikTok about this, and they were all saying you turned Piers Morgan into a believer. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but it's a shocking display. And as a fair and balanced reporter of facts, I will hand it to Piers. This is an unimaginable W.
But when Piers does the same thing to Hassan because he won't answer, that's because he's biased. Piers repeated the question one more time, and it about breaks Hassan.
Hassan, just before I come to the two people who are with me here, I just need some clarity here, because it seems like you're dancing around whether you think October the 7th was justified or not.
Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this back and forth masturbation? I've already given you my position.
Why are you doing this?
I'm sick and tired of repeating it over and over again.
Okay,
because it's Jews, it's okay.
Emily,
I love that they had female Hassan here for this, though. I think my favorite thing about this was just that they wheeled in female Hassan for male Hassan, just to watch them both go. It's fucking hilarious.
I'm sick and tired of repeating it over and over again.
Okay, I just
ask this
demon next to me.
Demon.
Fucking IDF dog tag.
Only when it's Jews, it's okay.
Ask this fucking demon next to me, wearing an IDF dog tag, if she actually thinks Israel's actions are justifiable.
Bring them home.
Do you see
to bring
me
the hostages home. The hostages that you rightly believe belong in
You know what it is.
This whole time, by the way, the other two panelists haven't even been introduced. Hassan then asks the inverse question to Emily, but she answers very clearly.
Stop doing this to each other, please.
Emily,
Nobody can understand a word either of you are saying. Now, let me come to Esther and James here. This is one of my problems.
No, I want to hear if Emily.
If you're a content creator, I guess this is like advice to like 20 of you listening. If you're ever going on and doing these debates, if you want to be liked by the host and invited back, it's okay to fight and to give them a good show. That's fine, but don't interrupt the host. When the host is trying to cut you off or get a grip on the situation or the argument or whatever, if you're starting to cut off the host a ton, they're gonna have a really bad impression of you. So fighting with other guests drives up views. It's epic. People like it. Fighting with the host when the host is trying to get a handle on things, not good. Just as for the content creators out there that.
Now let me come to Esther and James here. This is one of my problems.
No, I want to hear if Emily condemns the actions of
Hassan,
Israel.
you will please let me moderate the debate.
Why don't you ask her about 30,000 people?
I've got two panelists here who've not had a word yet.
Because you're a fucking terrorist.
Please stop talking.
And I think you're a terrorist.
So yeah, this has been very productive. Finally, Esther answers that same October 7th question, and she does so precisely and clearly while bodying these two clowns.
This happened in a vacuum. Of course, October the 7th was an atrocity, and it was completely unjustified. There was no justification for butchering people in the way that they did. But it didn't happen in a vacuum. A lot of the people that live in Gaza weren't even born at the time.
It was so funny that she's Destiny. She has destiny. She pulls a destiny here, like I did on the Austin show. And she just, or the Raj Ral back then, I guess. Yeah, and she just comes in and just clearly, crystal clearly lays out Hassan's position in such a coherent manner without having to scream or be stupid or avoid like committing to any positions. Like,
time that Hamas came in power. So I really just, I despise this, you're a terrorist sympathizer, you're a genocide supporter, all of this, when really the people that we should be talking about deserve better.
Okay, James, on the wider point of these protests...
Well, I couldn't get to that part because I wanted to...
And then he says the same shit, actually, because I think like 4 or 5 years ago when it happened on the show, I was like, if you guys would just let me fucking finish, I would have said that, or I said the same thing. It's the same shit. He's like replaying it. Oh my God.
Better.
Okay, James, on the wider point of these protests...
Well, I couldn't get to that part because I wanted to describe what the apartheid is, and Emily cut in immediately to chirp about some random shit.
Okay.
He's so salty.
Look, Hassan, hang on, Emily, please, I'll come to you. Let me just ask Hassan. When you and Emily go at each other...
Sorry, if you're not aware of what I'm referring to, Hassan was on, it was some crazy Twitch show a long time ago.
Could somebody hate somebody because of this?
And Hassan spends like fucking 10 minutes trying to explain, like, is it racist for a black person to call a white person a slur, or can a black person be racist to a white person? He's trying to explain this for like 5 or 10 minutes, okay? And then obviously I hop in, and one of my skills is like summarizing complex things pretty simply so people can understand it. It's just a thing that I'm decently good at, and Hassan is not that great at it, but
towards a minority class person, like by virtue of them being minority class, like by that virtue alone, they're already typically disadvantaged in American society. So when we say like, can somebody be racist against somebody under like, I guess like the common vernacular of like, could somebody hate somebody because of their skin color? Of course, anybody can do that. But when we start like analyzing society, we look at like meaningful demonstrations of racism. So for instance, like the criminal justice system or economic disadvantages, right? In these ways, minority people can't really exercise racism against majority people because they don't really have the status or the power in society in order to do so.
Yeah, it's like I wish Destiny could just come in at the beginning and give us the right answer right away instead of making us wait.
So we didn't have to list a fucking Hassan.
Yeah,
it makes me feel
like we have the cheat sheet right here.
Honestly, like,
it's funny because like the only
it's
way
such a fucking retarded thing to say. Like, I'm sorry, but like if you can't comprehend the fucking shit that I'm saying, it's on you, okay? I'm doing as best as I'm doing.
Hey, yeah, Wes. You said the R word.
He literally said the exact same thing that I just said. Like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
You can say retard on Twitch. Zeta Poppin says it all the time.
Fuck Twitch then.
No, wait, relax. Hey, come on now, Wes. Let's be nice.
Wait, what did I do?
Well, look.
I was just joking. I don't know, make jokes without people taking it so seriously. Why I use prejudice or discrimination over racism is because, again, like Destiny mentioned, that I padded up with legislative background information.
Hassan, do you want my actual
answer? You can't have fucking power.
Even though I get you think I'm stupid, what I was trying to say is that because all our...
I just thought it was funny to like, well, I was about to say that. Question, since it's honestly lazy to grow, to be a proper grifter, why doesn't he just retire or accept the losses from switching to Zoomer gaming stuff? He doesn't seem to have any plans for his money aside from basic consumerism shit. What motivation is there to give this up? He's made it financially already, so why self-harm like this? I think once you've got a certain amount of money, you're aiming for status in life. Unless you're trying to jump to like the next echelon. And for Hassan, the next echelon is probably... I don't know what there is above millionaire. Like, I doubt there's a big difference between having a net worth of 1 million or 10 million. There probably is between like 10 and 100 million. It probably goes like 100 million and then like billion. I don't know if there's a big difference in life between like 100 million and a billion though. I guess at a billion, you're getting into like yacht, private jet area. For 100 million, you're probably chartering private flights. Are you owning private jets? I'm not sure, but yeah, I don't know. But I'm sure he's pushing for like influence stuff. He's not pushing for money, so.
Other like you just did.
Do you think he wants to become a senator? No. Hassan has no desire to do anything like in terms of real politics. Like politics is a vehicle to him for clout, essentially.
To you, let me just ask Hassan. When you and Emily go at each other like
1 million and 10 million is bigger than 10 to 100 million in terms of status? Maybe, I don't know. It's hard too because it really depends on like cash flow as well, right? Like how much money are you making, not just like what is your wealth, you know? You can't get to 1 billion from streaming, can you? Mr. Beast probably will, but in general, no.
You just did. Nobody wins. I mean, no one can really understand a word you're saying because you're shouting over each other. You end up just calling each other terrorists. There's no sensible dialogue here. There's no constructive conversation. It's just two implacably opposed sides abusing each other. Do you understand that?
Yeah, listen.
Do you think Hassan will be jealous of you doing content in Israel when he's too lazy to do anything of substance? Absolutely not. No, I'm going to Israel because I think it'd be interesting because I've studied it a lot, and like talking to the people there would be really cool. I think it would be like a life enriching experience for me, and I can like actually study something and then tie it to things that I see in real life. That's fun for me. I'm not gaining any credibility outside of my immediate community for going to Israel. Like everybody that sees me going thinks I'm like getting paid by fucking the Hasbro division of Shinbet or whatever to go do this trip. I'm not gaining any outside credibility. I just think it would be a cool thing to do. It just seems like it'd be a fun experience.
Using each other. Do you understand that?
Yeah, listen, Piers, okay? This is going to always be a very heated discussion, okay? Having a conversation about how heated this discussion is utterly unproductive.
How are you supposed to have a productive conversation on this topic, educating people, if everyone is so emotional they can't even let each other speak? He's so emotional he can't even see the obvious flaws in his logic. The point he tries to make is absurd.
You tell me I'm wearing an IDF dog tag. I'm wearing a bring them home for the hostages that you... No, it says bring them home.
You're using...
You are. Was it sound like this when you were friends with him? I don't know. It's probably different because we're on the same side, so I probably just didn't interpret it as negatively, right?
For the hostages that you... No, it says bring them home.
You're using the hostages as a simple political tool to make propaganda in the West. Is quite disgusting. The protests that are happening in Israel right now are massive.
Are a political tool?
And those protests,
what?
You are using humans in captivity as a political tool. It's so obvious.
Yeah, but so is Hamas, right? That's why they took the hostages in the first place, to use them as political tools. James correctly points this out, and Hassan loses it.
Anyone is using hostages.
You tolerate crazy friends more when they're not attacking you. I think I don't tend to co-sign much that other people do at all. I think I'm pretty unique in that position. I'm not much of like I'm always going to defend my friends no matter what. If you're doing dumb shit, I'll let you can do dumb shit. You're not going to get me signing off on it. Even like when Melina would fight with Darius, I was like, listen, that's Melina's fight. I'm not defending Melina against shit Darius says. That's between those two. If I'm defending somebody publicly, it's because I think they're in the right, or I think they're being unfairly attacked or mischaracterized or maligned or whatever. It's not because they're my friend. I would never defend somebody just because we're friends. Fuck that. You have to be in the right for me to defend you. I mean, I can like offer some compassion or a shoulder to cry on or some bullshit like that, but I'm not gonna let you tread on my reputation so that I can defend some dumb shit you're saying because we have a relationship. That's dumb.
James correctly points this out, and Hassan loses it.
Anyone is using hostages. Surely it's Hamas, Hassan.
Oh, true.
How can you say that? How can you use that argument? That's a crazy thing to say. It's Hamas
What do you mean, how can I use that
have taken
argument?
these people from their homes,
tens of thousands of people in Israel. There are currently tens of thousands of Israeli citizens right now in the streets of Israel, in the streets of Tel Aviv, outside of Benjamin Netanyahu's house, protesting every single day. What are they protesting? They're protesting for Benjamin Netanyahu to facilitate a ceasefire with Hamas so that they can actually bring the hostages home. That is precisely the number one goal of the family members of the hostages.
Who is using the
anyone
hostages?
on this panel was being even a little bit honest, they would recognize the reality that, just listen.
You didn't listen to my question.
James is right. He's dodging his question.
Listen to what I'm saying, and you will understand, perhaps, what I'm trying to imply
very patronizing.
here. Utilizing.
Does Willie Mac show what Hassan ended up clipping on this on Twitter? I don't know if it was Hassan's Twitter or somebody else's, and he just retweeted it. Wait. Fuck, does anybody know what I'm talking about? Changing Twitter to X is such an unbelievably stupid fucking thing. God, it's so stupid. God, it was so dumb. He should have never bought that stupid fucking domain. He's such a child. Sorry, just kidding. I love you, Elon.
The hostages. Yeah, I am being patronizing. I don't know who the fuck you are, and you're over here chirping all the way from London about Palestine and doing a both sides are fine type bullshit. Or you're talking about how you want to free Palestine, but also simultaneously, both sides got a lot going on. Shut the up. You don't know anything, okay?
Bro, this guy lives in a $3 million home in California and drives a $250,000 Porsche. You're all equally unqualified.
I don't give a shit about what your perspective is.
I agree.
Hassan doesn't like what you have to say, so you're wrong.
Based. Wait. My uncle manages a Porsche dealership in Miami. If you need that connection, he said, for people of certain social status, they don't require a minimum number of other car purchases before obtaining the GT3 or other higher-end models. Same goes for Ferrari, but he only works for Porsche. Sardine 9. I don't know what car I want yet, but email me, okay?
It's Hassan's way or the highway.
I mean, you
Wow,
are. You
really
are. There is no
clever you
both sides
are.
on a genocide. Is there a
Really
both sides of a
clever.
genocide? There is no both sides.
Well, the thing is, it's interesting you should mention the hostages.
There is no both sides in an apartheid.